Welcome, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us here today. So we just finished a workshop on sonic branding, right? So for those who don't know you, do you want to give us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Kimberly Van Rijn. I am a singer-songwriter as well as a sonic branding specialist based out of Mumbai. I've been doing music all my life pretty much. I also had a little bit of formal education in music, etc. And now I've been actively working in the sonic branding space for a little over 3 years now. So yeah. So
Good. And what got you interested in sonic branding?
I think music, like I said, has always been a part of what I do, and I've been singing for as long as I can remember. And there did come a point where I was like, you know, what can I do with music that still keeps the music side of it, but also adds a more commercial or sort of a different dimension to it, because you know there's a million singers and a million musicians out there, and of course I wanted to continue to maintain my identity as a musician, as a singer, as an artist. And then I sort of stumbled upon the company that I'm working at, BrandMusiq, and I think it just opened my eyes. Honestly, it was all chance and a beautiful sort of thing that happened. But I think it opened my world into a second passion that I didn't know I had, which was brands and branding, right? Because for me, music has always been a big passion. But the minute I started understanding the world of brands and how that sort of the dimensions that brands have, and then discovering the link between brands and sound, it just felt like the perfect match where I could continue to make music but do it in a different sort of way, to sort of, yeah, I think monetize what I love doing.
Yeah, thanks for that. So yeah, speaking of sonic branding, could you give us a little definition of what sonic branding is for those who maybe don't know what it is?
Sure. So sonic branding is essentially creating audio identities, musical sonic identities for brands, right? So just as a brand has a logo, which is its sort of visual identity. So it has a logo, it has a color palette, it has certain fonts or symbols that are associated with the brand. Sonic branding is the sound equivalent of that.
Yeah.
So essentially, just as a brand is visually consistent, you'll always see the logo, you'll see a certain color palette, etc. Sonic branding, basically, I think the belief is that a brand should also be visually consistent, sonically consistent, and sort of exist even in the other senses, which is, a lot of brands do it with taste and smell and touch, right? So sound just being sort of the thing that completes that circle of multi-sensory branding.
Yeah, and I guess in today's sort of branding landscape, how important would you say it is for a brand to have an audio signature or a sound that people can associate with them and them only?
Yeah, I think for a long time having a sound was like, yeah, it's cool, interesting. I think now it is absolutely essential, because we're in a world where there's a massive digital explosion, right? There's visual fatigue. You're seeing screens everywhere you go. Attention spans are rapidly decreasing. The last I think I read was 3 seconds moving down to 2 seconds. So attention spans now exist like, they're just little blips here and there. And I think that's where sound can play a massive role, because you can express emotion and reach people through sound, right? Because sound is sort of absorbed quicker and faster than visual stimuli. And therefore, I think every brand needs a sonic identity in this day and age, because also I think with the whole media explosion, there's not just one avenue for a brand to interact with the consumer. You have social media reels, you have smart speakers, you have audio media like podcast, and you know Spotify, things like that, as well as TV, as well as physical spaces, right? If I walk into a store, that's another way for my brand to be heard without me having to sort of scream the logo everywhere.
And sort of coming to the work that you do at BrandMusiq, how do you approach branding or sonic branding for a client? It could be manufacturing, it could be FMCG brand, pretty much anything, right? How do you approach doing sonic branding for a brand?
Right. So I think, obviously there's a very detailed proprietary process that we sort of follow, but I think the core of it is understanding the brand, because at the end of the day, you're creating sound for a brand and not just a product or a campaign, right? So we really spend time deep diving into what the brand really stands for, what is the personality of the brand, what kind of emotions the brand wants to make a consumer feel. So a lot of time is spent in understanding the different dimensions and complexities of the brand. And then we take that information and sort of translate it into musical terms, and understand how different instruments, different scales, different tempos, sort of different intonations can impact sort of the delivery of those brand parameters. And really that, I mean, in a very simple way, that's what we do.
All right. And what would you say takes a sonic brand or a sonic signature from being generic to being unique to that brand itself?
I think that's where we sort of bring the dimension of, so what we call it at BrandMusiq is a MOGO, right? It's a musical logo. It's not just an audio logo or a sonic logo, it's a musical logo. And I think melody is something that a brand can definitely own and sort of live with, because you obviously you register that tune to yourself. And yeah, I think that melodic angle is really what makes it ownable. But beyond that, I think there are different aspects in the sound design, in the way we approach it, because there could be category codes depending on, you know, what category you're in. So I think a combination of all of these elements, as well as your brand's personality shining through in the music created. Yeah, so I think that makes it ownable.
So yeah, moving on now, what skills and expertise do you think people in your field require to actually do sonic branding?
So I mean, like I said, this is a fairly new industry, right? And music and brands have always had a connection, but I think the approach coming from a strategic lens is relatively new. So if it's an aspiring musician looking to enter the space of sonic branding, definitely you need to have the musical skills that you would have regardless of what industry you're entering, right? If it was the film world, if it was performing and producing your music. So I think that skill set definitely continues. But you also need to have a slight inclination, I would say, to the world of branding and you know, how brands have communicated in the past. The connection between music and brands, etc., would definitely be a plus point if you're entering this space.
All right. And looking ahead, where do you see this industry going, especially 5 to 10 years down the line, and what opportunities do you think will open up as we approach that deadline?
Yeah, so absolutely. I think the world of sonic branding is only getting bigger and bigger, because we're moving into a space overall with branding which is very multi-sensory, right? You don't only want to see an ad, you want to feel and experience the brand beyond just the marketing communication that they do. And that's where this whole world of experiences is coming alive, right? So sonic experiences, how can you use sound to create an immersive, to create an exciting experience for a consumer to engage with the brand? And I think that's the space that the world of sonic branding is definitely moving into, which is sonic experiences and IPs and, you know, AI and sound. How does that play a role in the way you experience a brand, etc.? Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Lovely to get your wisdom on what is essentially an up-and-coming field. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
you with us again sometime.